Welcome to this video. I am in Articulate Rise at the moment, and I've added in an Articulate Storyline e-learning course within my Rise course. In this video I'll show you how I did that and also some tips on how to make it better. So let's come out of this. I'll show you what I've done. So this is a Rise course. It's a very basic Rise course. It's not real. I've gone to edit content. I'll scroll down, and what I've done, I've added in the e-learning course here. And if I actually preview this, so I'll continue all the way down. I've done those things, and here we have the storyline course. This is a completely normal storyline course. It has some interaction in it, and it operates exactly how it would operate if the user was just doing a storyline course rather than Rise. All it's doing is sitting in here. It's embedded in here. But I'm going to show you ways of making it better, because there's a few things you don't want. You don't want menus on there and resources on there and settings and things like that. And also we can clean it up so it looks a bit nicer as well, rather than this kind of black, dark grey box that's going around it. Let me show you first of how I inserted it and what I can do to tidy it up. So inserting is really easy. Let's go in and edit the course. So let's just put it at the top here just to make life easier. So the way to insert it is really easy. You're going to insert it as a block. So go to the plus icon, and it's an interactive one. Go to interactive, scroll down, and you get to this storyline block here. Click on that. Now you need to add a storyline 360 interaction from Review 360. And I'm going to show you how to get it into Review 360 in just a moment. But I've already got one in there, so I'll just show you this part of the process. So go to Browse Review 360, and we can see I've got one available for me. I'll select it, and there we have it. It's been added in. This is the one I just showed you earlier on. But let's show you now in actual Articulate Storyline what we can do. So I've got a course here in Articulate Storyline. You can see it's a very simple course, and I'll show you ways of making it better in terms of how it's operating within Rise. So if I preview this course for you, it's a very short and simple one. We've got it, so the user must click here and then they go to the next slide. Yeah, so you can see the interactions. You can see it's very simple. But anything you were to do in there, if you had videos playing, if you had clickable bits, if you had text, if you had animations, all of that will come through as per normal. Other things I've done though, if I go into Player, I've turned off all these bits. So menu is not on there anymore, glossary is not on there, notes aren't on there. All of these interactions are not going to be on there anymore. So I've turned all of those off. Also, what I did in Story View, I turned off all of the buttons as well. So I don't have any navigation on there. And the reason I don't have navigation is because I've built in interactive elements. The user must click this to go to the next slide. But if you want to leave those turned on, leave those turned on. The other thing I recommend you do, if I go to Player and I go to Colours and Effects, you see this background here. So you've got this black background. It's not very wide on this one, but you can see this black background. Well, that's what really makes it stand out a bit too much. You want it to kind of really more blend in with the original course. I'm just going to make this screen a bit smaller so we can do this nice and smoothly. So you can see this is the Rise course. I'm going to go to Player, Colours and Effects, Custom Background Colour. I'll use the eyedropper tool, and I'll click on this one here. So this is the Rise course in the background. I want to make sure I'm bringing through the right colour. Currently you can see it's blue. Yeah, we don't want it to be blue. We want it to be this colour. There you go. It's turned into the same colour. Right, so back in Storyline, I'm going to press OK. The next thing we want to do, so I'm ready to publish this. I want this course published and I want it within my Rise course. So I'm going to publish this. I'm going to publish this as a Review 360 course. Give it a name. I'll call it Alan Test V1 and I'll click Publish. There you go. It's been published. Now, back to my Rise course. what I'll do, I'm going to insert it. So I'm going to insert this new eLearning from a storyline that I've built. I'll click on the plus icon. And remember, we did interactive, scroll down, storyline, browse review 360, which is where we've just uploaded it to. There is the old one. There's the new one. I'll select that. And there we have the course. Now notice on this one here, yeah, we've got all the menus and everything, which is why we've got all these bits all around it. We've got this dark grey black border to it. This one here, it's not like that at all. It's just the actual box, which is a bit of a smoother transition. And does it work? If I click on that, I'll go to the next slide. It does work. If I preview this and I scroll down, you can see it's working nicely there. Yeah, let's put it in the mobile phone view. Yeah, it's does it work in that? It certainly does. It looks really nice actually. Fits nicely within the phone view. So there's that. There's one more thing I'm going to show you though. So this is something that I did add into this course I didn't tell you about. Within Rise, you might have, and I'm just going to get Rise back up, you might have a rule in there that the user must complete the above section to move on. So if I was to, for instance, add in a divider, continue button, and you could add a rule to this continue button, and the completion is, you know, that they must complete the block directly above to move on. If that's the case, then what I'd recommend you do in Storyline is build in this rule. So on the very final slide, have a complete course as completed past when the timeline starts on the slide, or when a person clicks on a button that says exit or complete or something like that. The way to create this rule is create a new trigger. The action is complete course. Status is complete past. When the time, and I've gone for when the timeline starts, which you can't see because it's off my screen. See if I can do it now. When the timeline starts, there we go, on this slide. So when in Rise, the person, the learner, reaches the second slide, it'll be marked as complete and they'll be able to progress. And let's just try that out. So I'm going to preview this particular segment. There's my previous one. Moving on. Look, complete the content before moving on. So I'm going to complete it by clicking on that. The trigger has said that this is now being completed. I can now continue the course. Hopefully you found this video useful. I do have lots of Rise videos and Articulate Storyline videos on my YouTube channel. So make sure you like the video and subscribe to my channel for more top tech tips.